name's Dylan Kelly. I'm currently I'm going into my senior year of high school after this summer. I got into this trip through Generation Revive. I met Bernard in California, and he presented me the opportunity. As we're getting ready to go, I'm just expecting to see the Lord to just blow expectations and to just do what He wants to do. I'm expecting from my heart to just deepen for the dirty, the dying, for the broken, and ultimately the least of these. And I'm just excited to go and serve and just see what the Lord is going to just do through a servant heart and just radical love.
I'm Kelsey Smith. I am currently a junior at Shepherd University. So this trip is definitely a God-planned trip. I had no intention as of, was it like December, that I was ever going on this trip, going to Ghana or anything. And then my wonderful friend Bree was actually telling me about her missions trip, and I was asking her about what she was doing over the summer, and she told me she was going to Ghana. And then from there, this crazy, massive God-send plan all happened to where my mom said yes, I got all the money, got all the shots, and now we're sitting in an airport about to head to Ghana. I just want to see Him work His ways and be a servant and a willing body that He'll use while we're down there. It's a little scary, but so exciting at the same time. Play with all little kids.
My name is Brianna. I met Generation Revive about a year ago. I met people that were pursuing Christ, especially younger people, more deeply than anybody that I had ever met before, ever. And they're like, hey, come be a part of this. And so I was all for it. This team, I think, has like crazy peace, because generally in this situation, at least I know the girls, we would be like, I can't believe it, like we're going to Africa. But there's such a wave of peace going on here, and it's totally Him, totally Him.
I'm Bernard. I'm part of Generation Revive, and what Generation Revive is a community and a ministry of young people who are just eager to see God just invade the earth and invade people's lives. And this Ghana trip pretty much came about a year ago. I was in Ghana, and God just really began to speak to me about the need there and what our group and our community, the role that we could play there. And a year later, He's brought it all together. And though not as many people are here as we had thought, I think he brought the team together that He really desired to go. And I just believe that He's setting us up to really lay a foundation and really plant our feet in the ground there and really build something up there for the young people and for the older generation there. So I'm excited to see what He's going to do. Because Ghana is so religious and so rooted in faith, a lot of the schools here, once a week they'll have, whether it be like worship and prayer time, and they'll have someone from the school actually lead that. But a lot of the stuff is repetition. A lot of the stuff, I wouldn't say not as real for a lot of the students. And so we went in there and we were gonna do worship and minister and drop a word, but it just became very clear that we were just falling into that same routine of repetition, and so we just pretty much scratched everything, and we just started praying and ministering.
It was just incredible. Like I can't explain how awesome it was and how different and anything like that. But like people were healed, and it was just amazing to see God work. And like today, like praying for these kids, like something was just there. Like it was something. Oh, it was beautiful. It was beautiful. I was in tears. Like, and just seeing the little kids, and they were just so devoted and so on fire for God at the ages of like 7. Like I just seeing how much the kids just loved us after the boys left. The little kids just like swore me and Bria. Pretty sure we like smacked them with things.
You play with that. At first it didn't seem as open, but eventually the kids responded well, and it was just interesting to see that a lot of them really wanted attention more than anything. And even some of them, we asked if anyone who was sick to come up, and at first there was people who had illness, but then eventually you noticed just all the kids kind of came up, and it was just interesting to see that a lot of them just wanted attention in general. but I think it was a good start. I think it was a good way to transition into doing the work here.
It was beautiful. I mean, we were packed in a room with 100 kids singing praises to Jesus, and so like it couldn't have gotten much more beautiful.
All of us were praying, and I remember praying for like maybe 10 or 12 girls. All had different things like ear pain, headaches. Prayed for these kids who had worms, and all types of stuff like that. And it was crazy. Each and every one of the people I prayed for said they got healed right on the spot.
We did a lot of outreach ministry. We handed out clothes to some needy children within the church.
Well, we had all these donations that were donated by people in the United States. Because you could tell that every single mother there, like they wanted to give every single thing to that child that we were able to bring to them, and they just couldn't. And so in like humility, like with just this love and they just outpouring, they were like, okay, my child can receive from you because I want them to have these things.
We did some serving and some evangelism and just other random things. We hung out with some kids, played soccer.
2, 3.
Church event one night, I got the opportunity to preach.
This is not from yourselves, it is a gift from God.
The circumstances weren't the best. There were goats running through. We were outdoors. There was a lot of problems with the microphones. They weren't working well and they were really fuzzy. I needed a translator, so that was a bit of a barrier. It turned out well. The Lord led me and He was faithful through the whole thing.
I was reading and really praying and just praying like God would tell me what I'm supposed to do here. And He made it really evident when I was reading, and this verse popped in my head. It's Ephesians 5:2. And at the beginning of the verse is live a life of love. And that's what I'm supposed to do here. I'm just supposed to love on people.
We should be driven on where we are going to be in the most unity with God, and then where the most outpouring for the people around us are going to go. Because He's the one that ultimately loves all of them, not me.
It's not about me, and that it's all about like God's people, and especially the least of these.
We also went to an orphanage. I mean, I know life happens, but like, I just couldn't imagine not wanting my kids or not being able to take care of my kids. Just looking at them and then just imagining two different parents that I couldn't, like, that are devastated because I can't take care of them, or knowing that they didn't want them.
In Cape Coast, it was the atmosphere was so prepared beforehand, before we even came, that we just saw immediate breakthrough.
There was one girl who raised her hand and I said, "How can I pray for you?" And she said, "I want to accept Jesus."
So today I went to an insane asylum and a school. The school is good. We got to talk to a lot of kids, and this kid dropped it over here. It was awesome. And just like playing and worshiping with them was good.
And after that, we went to the insane asylum, and it wasn't what we expected. We expected to be able to, pray for people and do a bit more ministry. We got to go and do worship and then present what we were donating to them, and I think that alone touched them, even if we didn't get to do what we expected.
So we spoke at a technical high school. We spoke about love and dealing with authority and parents and stuff like that. And you could just tell what Bree and William and I were saying just hit these kids hard. Like I've never seen boys cry before, and it was just, you could just see that the guys could understand and they could relate, and they were just so on a want to go home and love their family that it was just amazing, and it was definitely God moving.
I think we reached at least 2,000 people with the gospel just in the schools. I remember one school we went to, there's at least 400 kids and in a few of the schools alone. And so without a doubt, in the last 10 days, we've seen over 1,500 to 2,000 people. And that's just crazy.
While we were there, we pressed in a lot to see God do miracles, and we expected a lot, and I think we all learned that sometimes God just wants us to love His people before we see people get healed and we see mass revival.
You're not called to do work this time. You're called to just sit and be love to these people.
So the whole trip was one big God moment.